Hey there you guys, Shaun here. This is part 2 of my days in 3rd grade. If you guys haven't seen the previous video about my days in 3rd grade, hit that iCards annotation just popped on the screen. I basically decided to break this up into 2 different parts because obviously there's another story involved in 3rd grade. If you guys didn't see my previous video, I'll just go ahead and tell you right off the bat. During mid-January, I basically was removed out of private school, and then I started homeschooling in 3rd grade, which was a really bizarre transition for me because, well, of many different things. And before I start, I just want to say that I've gotten questions about homeschooling because I was homeschooled for a good 10 years. So when people ask me what's it like to be homeschooled, I say there are pros and there are cons, but I guess the question is, do the pros weigh out the cons or vice versa? That's what I'm going to say right now. One of the benefits of being homeschooled is that you get to stay at home. I think that's one of the items that I think a lot of people would probably rather want to do instead of being actually in a school, right, in a classroom. But of course, people have different opinions. It worked out more to my advantage. I felt comfortable. I felt more safe, I guess. Not being in a classroom with so many students felt different, obviously. That's a con, actually, because I had a lot of friends in school when I was in private school. And when I was homeschooled, I was away from them. Basically, when you're homeschooled, you're not with a whole bunch of classes, or, well, yeah, and students. And if you have friends from classes, but then you're removed and placed into homeschool, then that's a con because you don't see your friends again. I think another pro is that you basically are taught by your parents. Now, depending on if you have a certain religion or a certain ethnicity or whatever, you know, being taught by your parents, if they're qualified, is a plus. There are some people out there who do not want to send their kids to school based on their beliefs, and they would rather teach their kids themselves. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that because, you know, to be honest with you, that's kind of how our nation was founded in a way, because a lot of people didn't go to school. A lot of them self-taught themselves or were taught by their parents. I mean, they did have schools, but some of them didn't get through K through 12, okay? Some of our presidents didn't even make it through school, and they became presidents, which is so amazing. But again, they were self-taught. I mean, Abraham Lincoln's a big example because even though he didn't really do school, he self-taught himself how to be a lawyer, literally, which is pretty amazing. I don't think I could ever do that. So when I first started homeschooling in mid-January of 1997, I'm not sure of the exact years because it's been so long. Let's just say that it wasn't the happiest moment because at that point, right when I started homeschooling, I lost my grandmother. And that's my dad's mother. And she was very special, and things weren't also that happy with some other portions of my dad's family, but that part's personal. I don't want to really release stuff about that. But basically, I left private school, and I started coming here home to being homeschooled. And again, there were benefits to me being home. I felt more secure. I was taught by my parents, mostly my mom, because she taught for a few years out in South LA. And she was a qualified teacher. And so, yeah, I was taught by my mom, and she taught me through 12th grade, but we're talking about 3rd grade. So basically, what happened was that I wasn't actually taking my classes or my studying in here in my bedroom because they thought that I'd be distracted in here. So at first they were thinking of the dining room area, but actually they taught me in the kitchen. Yep, it was right in here. I had all of my files all right up here. My books, my math books, my science books, my grammar books. Up here on the wall was a gigantic whiteboard. It's the same whiteboard that you see on the educational series videos. I remember my dad would be talking to me about math and stuff up here late into the night. I'd be practically falling asleep, but yeah, the whiteboard was right up here. At one point, we actually took it out into the garage after we finished homeschooling, and I actually pulled it out to use in my educational videos. But all of my studying was right here.
sometimes in that chair, but most of the time right here. And in case you're wondering, yes, we did have cats at that time, but Simon, Spidey, Minnie, the Blackies, even Sylvester, they weren't around for quite a long time. They didn't come until like the early 2000s. But we had a female cat named Ivy, and I think Sweet Pea was around at that time. I don't remember exactly because it's been so long.
So as you can probably guess, my introduction to homeschooling was off to a bit of a rocky start. But as time went along, I got more used to it. During the same time period, I was actually practicing to play the piano. We actually have a piano in our living room. And for a while I enjoyed it, but I wasn't very happy about it. I kind of wanted to play with it in the beginning, but then it seemed like I was getting too much into it. As time went along, I just got really tired of playing the piano. I did start playing the keyboard a while back. I was actually taught at my private school because I was still being taught by my original piano instructor. So my mom would have to drive me up to the private school to basically be taught by my instructor. And of course I would see my friends there, which made me even more sad because, I wasn't there with them. But they did see me and were happy to see me. And when I stopped playing the piano, that was basically the last time I ever saw them. Not until junior high, when I was in a junior high group at my church, and I saw some of them. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyways, 3rd grade was a very rough grade for me, obviously, because I transitioned from private school to homeschooling. And in the next video, when I talk about the rest of my homeschooling days from 4th through 12th grade, there is a lot of things happening that really affected not just me, but my family altogether. And in order for you guys to know about that, you're going to have to see the next video, which will be about my days through 4th and 12th grade. Well, from 4th grade to 12th grade. Sorry, I messed that up a little bit. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. It's greatly appreciated. Sorry, but I think the next video is probably going to be a little bit more boring because I'm going to be here talking because literally throughout my 4th through 12th grade, I was here. So, and also, I forgot to mention that I wasn't involved in any like homeschooling groups. I was literally editing the video and I wanted to add this part in. There are options where people can have homeschooling groups with other schools. It's just that we didn't do that with me. We knew about a group that was for homeschooling at my private school, but we didn't get involved with them, and I forget the reason why, but we just didn't. So anyways, on that note, again, if you guys like this video, hit the thumbs up button. It's greatly appreciated. And if you guys want to see the previous videos in this playlist or my videos of my schooling days, be sure to check out the playlist of my days through school and through college. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and also don't forget to check out my other channels, the educational series, the design video series, and the travel town series. Thank you all so much for watching. End scene, and that's a wrap.